Psalm 3, 7-8, brings David's prayer to its climactic conclusion, moving from confidence in God's protection to an urgent plea for divine intervention. Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, for thou hast smitten all mine enemies upon the cheekbone, thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord, thy blessing is upon thy people. Selah. These last verses of Psalm 3 reveal David's understanding of both God's power and his own dependence on the Lord. After expressing his confidence in the Lord's protection, David now calls upon God to act against his enemies. The phrase, "Arise, O Lord," echoes the ancient battle cry of Israel. When the Ark of the Covenant moved forward during Israel's wilderness wanderings, Moses would declare, "Rise up, Lord, and let thine enemies be scattered, and let them that hate thee flee before thee." Numbers 10:35. By employing this language, David connects his personal struggle with God's historical pattern of defending his people. This is not just David's private battle, but one that involves the Lord's honor and purposes. The plea, "Save me, O my God," demonstrates that despite David's confidence, he recognizes his need for divine rescue. The king, though anointed and experienced in warfare, acknowledges that true deliverance comes only from God. This paradox of confidence alongside desperate prayer reveals the mature faith of one who trusts yet prays. David then recalls God's past victories. "For thou hast smitten all mine enemies upon the cheekbone, thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly." The vivid imagery of striking enemies on the jaw and breaking teeth portrays God as a warrior who disables his foes. These metaphors suggest not just defeat, but humiliation and the removal of the enemy's ability to devour or harm God's people. The past tense of these statements shows David's confidence that God has already determined the outcome, even though the battle continues in the present. The psalm concludes with a powerful theological declaration. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord. This statement transcends David's immediate circumstances to establish an eternal principle. Salvation, whether from physical danger, political enemies, or spiritual peril, originates with God alone. The Lord possesses it and grants it. This truth stands as the foundation of David's confidence throughout the psalm. The last phrase, "Thy blessing is upon thy people," extends the scope of God's deliverance beyond David himself to encompass all who belong to the Lord. Even in his personal crisis, David recognizes his connection to the broader community of faith. The blessing David seeks is not for himself alone, but for all God's people. For Christians today, Psalm 3, 7-8 offers several vital applications. First, we learn to balance confidence with continued prayer. Like David, we can rest in God's protection while still calling upon Him to act. Faith does not eliminate the need for prayer, but rather fuels it. Second, we are reminded to view our personal struggles within God's larger purposes. Our battles are not isolated incidents, but part of God's ongoing work in history. As the Apostle Paul would later write, "We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world." Ephesians 6:12. Third, we recognize that salvation in all its forms comes from the Lord alone. Whether facing physical danger, relational conflict, or spiritual warfare, our deliverance depends not on our strength or strategy, but on God's intervention. As the prophet Jonah declared, "Salvation is of the Lord." Jonah 2:9. Finally, we are called to see our individual blessings as connected to God's work among all His people. The Christian life is not solitary, but communal, and God's blessings flow through his covenant community.